Welcome, thank you for watching this short video. I hope that by the end of it you'll have a little of a better understanding about what the report we send home to students in Year 9 is able to tell you about how students are working at the moment and how they're likely to progress in the future. The front page of the report nearly always looks like this. It tells you when there is reports for, and we also have the name of the tutor group to make sure we've got the correct report for the correct person. And there's normally some text there from Mrs. Fillion, the head teacher. That's what the front of the report looks like. When you open it up, we have the main body of the report, and in the main body of the report we have sort of three key sections. First of all, we have always listed the subjects to the left, and we have the teachers to the right down the far end there. We then have what we call the attitude to learning descriptors, and that's about their engagement in lessons, a student's behaviour in lessons, and their homework in lessons. And they can be the good, outstanding, inconsistent or poor. Occasionally it's not applicable. So for example in PE non-GCSE we don't set homework, so it's not applicable there. The other thing we have that's linked in with those is the focus for improvement. This is what a student needs to do to further improve. And most times there'll be something written in there for them. This bit is about the level the student is working at. But before we go on to that, I just want to have a flick to the back of the report so we know what stuff we've got written on the back for you as well. Okay, so this would be the back of the report. A big bit of the text down the bottom here is about those attitude to learning descriptors. What's your engagement like, your behaviour, and then down below there is the homework. We have outstanding, good, inconsistent and poor for each of those. And to find out more about those, it's probably better to actually look on a paper copy of the report. At the top of the back of the report, we have descriptions about what the levels we're reporting are. Students in Year 9 will now be on the new 9-to-1 GCSE system, where a grade 9 is the equivalent to what is an A star now, an A double star, and a grade 1 is equivalent to what would now be currently a G. It's interesting to see that a C, a low C, a medium low C is a 4, and a high C would be a 5. This is where we're currently told by the DFE they believe the grade boundaries are going to be. It changes almost on a weekly basis, so although this is a general idea, I wouldn't want to be held to exact links between the grades here. That is likely to change as time goes forward. But at the minute this is the best we can do, and the best that most schools can do across the country. This tends to be what most schools are using. Below that we've got what we call the national forecast grade, the school forecast grade, and the projected GCSE outcome. It's explained on there what they are. I'm now going to flick into the main body of the report and explain them again to you so you have an idea of what that might mean. So going back into the main body of the report here, we've talked already about the attitude to learning, the focus to improvement. We talked about the subject, and we talked about the teacher, and now we need to unpick what these three columns here will tell us. The national forecast grade is the grade that students would get if they perform like the 50th percentile school in the country, like the average school in the country. It is worked out for them, however. What happens is after the Key Stage 2 SATs in primary school, the data is sent off to the DFE, and they forward that to a charity called Fisher Family Trust. And Fisher Family Trust have been looking at this data for many years now, and they are able to use their statistics to work out different ability students, different gender, different age. How do they progress from their result in Key Stage 2 to what they actually end up getting in various subjects at Key Stage 4, i.e. GCSE? So for a national forecast grade, we'd look at the score your child or you got at your end of Key Stage 2. We'd also consider whether you're a boy or a girl, and we consider were you born young in your year or born old in your year, and now actually also how many previous schools have you been to. And looking at all that data, we're able to come up with the grade we forecast you should get if you behave like most people in the nation. So for the person we're looking at here, we are suggesting that they should get a 4 overall. And that would be to be like the 50th percentile school in the country, the average school in the country. Okay. That is what the national forecast grade is. We also are experimenting, we're trialling with Year 9 about having something we call the school forecast grade. And this is an opportunity for us to say, well, actually, we do much better than average in some subjects, and with some students we are seeing already they're doing better than we might expect. So we want to extend that forecast grade a bit, push it a bit higher, and try and expect a little bit more out of our students. So the school forecast grade is related to the national forecast grade, but it looks at how well different departments have performed in the past, and when necessary we're expecting a little bit more. So in some subjects we'll be looking to be one of the top 20% schools in the country. When I look down this list here, it's quite clear. Here we see in GCSE PE that for this student we think actually we should be expecting more than a 4 from the student. We should be expecting a 5, looking at their previous data and other things. And the same for German here. We're expecting a bit more than being an average school for this student here. It's quite difficult because actually for a lot of students, whether you are a 50% school, a national median forecast grade school, or we're going for that extra push of being in the top 20% of schools, it doesn't actually make a difference for quite a lot of students. It's just that there are some students for whom they fall on a borderline between the two, so they will have a national forecast grade of a 4 and therefore a school forecast grade of a 5 who are expecting that a bit more. Not everybody who is in the 50th percentile school getting a 4 will necessarily, if we move to 20%, go up a grade. Just some of them will. Okay, that's those two sorted out. We now come to the projected GCSE outcome. The projected GCSE outcome is the grade that the teacher believes the student will get when they leave our school at the end of Year 11. So we look at the top one here for English, Miss McKinley. National forecast grade is a 4, school forecast grade is a 4. So to be in the top 50% of schools, and indeed to be in the top 20% of schools, this student needs to be getting a 4. Miss McKinley is saying, yes, their engagement is good, their behaviour is good, their homework is good. I believe they are going to get a 4. That's fantastic. Well done. Looking at maths, with this person, their national forecast grade is a 5. I don't know this, but I suspect that's because they did slightly better in their Key Stage 2 SAT for maths than they did in their Key Stage 2 SAT for English. So they're slightly better at maths, this person, than they may be at English. But again, we've got the forecast, national forecast grade and the forecast grade, school forecast grade being the same. Mr. Archer is saying their engagement is outstanding, their behaviour is outstanding, and their homework is outstanding. That's fantastic. And even better than that, Mr. Archer is saying they're going to better their forecast grade. I believe they're going to come out with a 6. Okay. Hopefully that's helped a bit about what we're doing. I'll just recap for you. National forecast grade, to be like 50% of schools. School forecast grade, not for every subject, but for some subjects we're stretching students a bit more, and that would be for our results to come out as a school that be in the top 20% of schools. Projected GCSE outcome is what we are saying, based on how the student is working at the moment, they will get when they leave in Year 11. Hopefully that's been useful to you. If you've got further questions or want some greater depth of explanation, please contact the school. I'm more than happy to talk it through on an individual basis and for your individual child. Thank you very much for watching.